Hey guys, I'm Brian Sparkman, and my hope through this podcast is that those of us in the Black LGBTQ plus community and others find our rightful place on life's journey. So come along to listen, to learn, and to share. Our voices, our journey. More than just letters. Coming up next. I have been waiting for you, for the world, for everybody to get a chance to meet this brother who I met almost a year ago in Memphis, Tennessee, Mr. Dewayne Murrell.
That's it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for pronouncing my last name correctly.
Come on, it's on phonics work for me. So, what I do with all guests is we do a little bit of an icebreaker. It's some of the questions are kind of rooted in the culture. Some things just for fun, just to kind of ease into the interview. So how does that sound? You ready for this?
Let's do this, man.
All right, let's do it. All right. Confidence. I like that. All right. This is 10 questions. Again, some rooted in the culture, some just for fun. All right. Question number 1. Pop or soda?
We don't say either.
Okay.
It's a drink.
It's drink?
It's a drink.
It's a drink. All right, fair enough. He says neither. It is a drink. All right. Good to know. Memphis, Tennessee. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Question number 2. Shoes off or on in the house?
Off.
Off. All right.
It's always off. At the door.
At the door. Okay, for sure, for sure. Question number 3. Toast with butter or jelly?
With jelly, like we just do butter. Like.
Question number 4. This might cause some friction for some family and friends.
I feel like
P.A.I.G.E or Aretha?
Oh shit. Oh look, but you know what? Aretha be shading Memphis like she ain't from here. She stay claiming Detroit. So I'm gonna say Patty. Yeah.
Question number 5. Tabasco, Frank's, or Crystal's hot sauce?
I would say Tabasco out of their group, but I want to give you a different entry.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, see, us N-words down here, we do Louisiana.
I forgot about Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question number 6. Martin or Gina?
Oh, shit. Damn, Gina. Hold on. Martin or Gina? Martin.
Question number 7.
Yeah.
Harlem Nights or Coming to America?
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Nah, that's an unfair question. Harlem Nights, because all the greats was on there.
Question number 8. McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Oh, that was fast. McDonald's.
Yeah.
All right, question number 9.
All right.
This is going to say a lot about you now.
Oh.
Slim Luther or Thick Luther?
Come on now. Okay. Because we like dance with my father when he got the slim thing popping, but
come on,
we fell in love with Big Luther.
Come on.
We fell in love with Big. A room is not a room.
Come on.
Yeah.
Last but not least, question number 10.
All right.
Shanae or Wanda?
Wanda.
Well, Dewayne, great job. Great job. Appreciate that. It wasn't too bad now, was it? It wasn't too good.
Well, I hope I can go back into the neighborhood after this.
When was the first time that you knew that you were part of the LGBTQ plus community?
Okay.
Those watching and listening.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I was 22 years old with a 1-year-old kid, and I was going through heartbreak. Definitely playing my old R&B CDs at the time, trying to heal myself. And I ended up getting on America Online. And so
AOL,
get your free 500 minutes, and then the rest of them, they just, raid your bank account. So, end up getting on there and having a conversation with a person, and they had a very neutral name as far as like gender wise. And so I was just conversing with the person about my heartache and about my troubles and stuff, and come to find out it was a guy. And I had fallen for him, and I guess that was kind of like the trick. And then after that, I was like, well, let me see where else this goes. And so, like a lot of guys who were coming from a traditional family, heterosexual family, to starting to embark into the LGBTQ community, I met up with this guy. We hang out, smoke weed, eat, talk video games, everything. It was really a homie, lover, friend thing. Yeah. And that's when I realized, okay, I'm kind of falling for this dude, and this is not what I thought would happen. And so, as stubborn as I am, I actually neglected to be stubborn that particular time and kind of roll with it. Okay. And end up being a 6-year relationship.
Dewayne and I, like I mentioned at the start of this, met last year. I went to Memphis. Supposedly, I was supposed to. The intention was to go with my mentees for a retreat and to also do some community activism, some community work. And I came across the P.A.I.G.E website, and I found and connected with this brother Dewayne, who's doing amazing things in Memphis with community, with specifically, I think, the black and brown LGBTQ plus community. So, and we're looking like twins, for the P.A.I.G.E shirt on. Come on,
exclusive.
Come on, exclusive. Come on, feeling good. It's a gift. This is gifted to me by Dewayne. Can you tell those who are listening, for those who are tuning in, those who are watching, what is the P.A.I.G.E and why did you start it?
Well, the P.A.I.G.E is an acronym. It's the Project for the Advancement in Gays Efforts.
So it's an acronym. Can you repeat that for us? The acronym. What is it again?
Yeah, the Project of Advancement in Gays Efforts. Okay. So we kind of took a little bit of inspiration in our naming behind the NAACP. Okay. And I was like, okay, we need something that's going to speak to the people about, them learning and gaining education. And then, of course, from education, I believe knowledge is power. We can gain that power and equity in the community. Absolutely. Specifically in the Memphis area, you don't see Black and brown folks gaining equity at all. And then when you talk about LGBTQ people, we still have the issue in even being seen, heard, and everything else, although we're very active in the community. So looking at, the landscape and how things were going then, I said, okay, I got to do something for myself and also for folks behind me. And I noticed that folks before me fought their ass off just to not have anything. And even to this very day, Black folks were fighting and saying Black Lives Matter. And then we're having the conversation, all Black Lives Matter, because LGBTQ people has been on the forefront of our, fight for liberty, also for equality. Yeah. Right. For years. Right. And so the P.A.I.G.E, I wanted that to be what it needs to be in the community, and almost to a degree, kind of comparing those conversations, Black Lives Matter and all Black Lives Matter. You have a NAACP and then you have the P.A.I.G.E. And that's what I wanted to create, that space, that safe space, just like on your show, having that safe space for folks like us, but also physically having that safe space in Memphis, because we don't have any real estate equity. We don't have any programming equity. We don't have any type of financial equity. We have no political equity. I can go on, and this thing, we need to create those things. And I wanted to be that person that make that change.
Everything you said, I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to, the idea of not having a voice, not having a space, not having any, not being empowered because you're stifled, you're ignored, you're othered, you're, put on the periphery of, the conversations that are impacting all of us. Was there any instance or set of instances that were the impetus behind you actually creating it, the actual organization, or was it just sort of you noticing the disparities, the chasm, and equality that kind of prompted you to create it?
It was definitely a gradual build up to it being developed. It was actually inevitable, events that happened. I, like I said, I, was 22 years old. I'm 39 now and been in the LGBTQ community. And I saw the folks who were fighting before to have a space. When I mentioned a Miss Peaches, like that was the only face that folks saw that was Black or brown LGBTQ in Memphis, and they would go to the annual parade and march in a parade as a majorette and, twirl batons and everything, and they were protesting with their existence and their presence.
Now, who, for those maybe who are listening, just to interject, who's Miss Peaches?
So Miss Peaches is a person back in the 80s who was very prominent, a very feminine guy, who they were not, he was as feminine, he wasn't transgender, but back then you act like a girl. And so Miss Peaches, that's how Miss Peaches got her name. She act like a girl, and that's how folks treated her because she was so feminine, although she wasn't transgender.
Okay.
So Miss Peaches also was a phenomenal dancer, a very vocal person, and just bold. And so that's why Miss Peaches was so celebrated, because she was the face of LGBTQ life back in the 80s, when you would be shot and killed in the street and hung from a tree for being gay in the South.
We have to pay homage to those people who came before us, who again paved the way, who put their lives on the line, literally, just to ensure that those future generations, yourself, myself, could have this space, could have the page. So I think that's really.
I've been doing HIV prevention work for 20 years now, and I have seen where we don't have a place, even when it comes to nonprofits either. We don't have that, like the business savvy that we all got that hustle mentality. Black and brown folks, we find a way out of no way, period. Right?
Come on, we do.
Right.
Make mountains out of molehills, as they say.
Our community, the little stuff that they were able to get, it was so underground that when people who were from white communities and other communities who wanted to come and gentrify that, they did. And they wiped us out here. So that's why it was so important to start the page. That way we can be a beacon of light for folks to see that, okay, Black and brown folks, we still have equity here, and we have a presence, and we ain't going nowhere.
So you mentioned in the 80s, Miss Peaches, and about her advocacy, and she fought to give a voice to HIV and AIDS, yes. To again to illustrate or to kind of highlight our presence. Then at that time. So what are some vacancies that the page feels in Memphis, kind of being sort of a grassroots organization? What are some of the challenges that the community, the Black and brown LGBTQ plus community is facing, and things that you are helping to fill?
Well, so many things. The first thing that I definitely wanted to do was to just have a safe space, and usually we don't have that. Our current school system for young folks who are 13, up to being 18 and graduating high school, don't have safe spaces. They don't have GSAs in the schools like they should in our school system here locally. And
now, Paul, can I just interject? What are GSAs, just for people who might be listening who may not be aware?
Absolutely. So it's gay straight alliances.
Okay.
Also, some people kind of choose different wording to describe it. They might say a gender diversity group, or cultural diversity group, and kind of bring in other elements rather than just being LGBTQ identifying.
Okay.
They might say, race, or, maybe nationality, and kind of tie those things in. So so that's where you get your brown, your Black, your brown. Also, you're getting people from different cultural backgrounds. So they don't have those in the Memphis area, not like it should. So what ends up happening, a person who is LGBTQ in the school system usually have to find their information from the Dr. Google, which we know Google will diagnose you with anything.
Come on. That part.
Yeah, or friends who are just trying to learn like they are, so it's the blind leading the blind. Or they might find an older person where now there's an inappropriate relationship that usually occurs from there, where they're finding someone who's over 18 and they're a minor. And they're trying to learn about who they are and where is their place in the community. And they end up being someone's houseboy, because when they identify, they're ejected from their homes, and so many other, different things that occur for those young people while trying to identify who they are.
So this is kind of, it's shocking.
Now, I couldn't leave y'all hanging. Part 2 coming up next.